Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name is Kevin.
I'm Mark.
I'm Justin.
How are you guys doing today?
Much better now that we've gotten back to the status quo.
It's always a good thing.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So today we are drinking beers from Fifth Hammer Brewing Company, and they are not out of Lick, New York, which I thought might be some weird town in the middle of nowhere, but Long Island City,
Yes.
which is probably only about 45 miles away, but about an hour and a half by car.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely Sherpa level when you talk about time. Mark and I both judged National Homebrew Competition, and that's where it was held. This is when we got
When
the
the beer was procured.
Okay.
I went in on Saturday for the whole day, and when I went in at 7 in the morning, I literally never hit the brakes.
Wow.
Straight
all
in.
that.
Right in. It was like just over an hour.
Nice.
We went in on Sunday at for the afternoon session to get there around 1, so we left the house at like 11:30, 12-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And holy Christ, it was like a different planet.
Yeah.
Everyone that could have been there was there. So it was like an hour and a half, a little longer to get there. But
The joys of Long Island traffic.
yes, but Long Island City is a beer mecca. There's Fifth Hammer, I think Transmitter's there, right?
Yeah, Transmitter is there. Rockaway,
Right.
at least their production
Wow.
facility is in
Wow.
Long Island City. I don't know if they have a tasting room up in there.
You can hit your ride for Rockaway Brew.
But yes, thank you.
Big Alice too, right?
I'm not sure if Big Alice is Long Island City or not.
I think they used to be, but I think they moved out of there.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Big Alice is definitely in Queens. I'm just not sure if it's Long Island City.
Right. So I mean, it's definitely worth the trip in. It was a good day of judging and also getting to have some beer there. I don't think that you and I didn't sample. No.
The three beers that we brought back, neither one of us partook in
Right.
while there.
I can say I have never had any of these beers. And the first one that we're going to try is a crisp Pilsner called Amarillo Pillow, which comes in at 6% ABV. We also have an American Stout. Stout! There's an exclamation point on the can, so I have to be excited about it. And a New York State Grisette, which I don't know what makes a New York State Grisette different from other ones, but
It's 100% New York State ingredients.
Right.
oh, okay. Then yes, it is a New York State. So, but we'll get into more of the details of those when we get to them. We started off with the Amarillo Pillow. Do either of you guys have any of the background on Fifth Hammer? You want to do the homework? Because I know I did not.
Yeah, so Fifth Hammer was founded by Chris Kuzme and his business partner David Sharfstein.
Bless you. Sharfstein.
Yes. So Kuzme is like a New York City home brewing legend, I guess you could say. He was the president of the New York City Homebrewers Guild for a while. He's worked at Kelso Brewing and several other breweries.
Kelso makes some good stuff.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
They're the ones who do the Trader Joe's stuff too, right? Is that right? We did the Kelso milk stout.
They sell at Trader Joe's, but
Okay.
a lot of the Trader Joe's variety stuff, like the especially their seasonals, the big quart bottles that they do, are actually made by Unibrew. Up in,
yeah.
Unibrow, isn't it? Or Unibrew?
I don't know. I think it's Brew, but it's
Yeah.
French Canadian, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but I remember now I remember that actually we did. It was Keegan that we had. I'm very confused by the letter K apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But so Chris Kuzme and his wife Mary Izette also do the Ferment About It podcast.
Okay. Awesome.
So he, as far as beer making chops, he has an extensive resume.
Yeah. Nothing you can argue about there.
So Fifth Hammer opened in I think it was October of 2017, after everything was crossed and dotted.
Oh, so they're new.
Yeah, they're very new. Prior to Fifth Hammer opening, Chris and his wife Mary were Gypsy Brewing as Couzette Libations, I believe.
Interesting.
Is the company
Huh.
name.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
And they've got a 15-barrel brew house, and they churn out a wide variety of styles. So
Yeah, the board there is eclectic to say the least. I judged Homebrew Alley there and then NHC, and there were definitely some consistent ones, but it changed fairly frequently. There were two saisons, there was an imperial porter, this Amarillo Pillow, the Grisette, a stout. They basically had
dark strong.
Yeah, Belgian. Yeah, that was good. Tenor Gladness, that was pretty good. There were a bunch of really great ones.
Awesome.
Iron Lotus was the Imperial Porter. I was trying to remember that name.
That's a good name.
That was Goddard's on Sunday, so I didn't get to sample that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was looking forward to having more of that.
That's a good name.
So
I just like that name.
Going back to the name of the brewery, Fifth Hammer, it's a reference to the myth of Pythagoras when he discovered the Pythagorean theorem.
Apparently, squared equals C squared.
Yeah, apparently he ended up in a blacksmith shop at some point in time, and there were 5 smiths hammering,
Okay.
and 4 of them were basically producing the same tone, but the 5th hammer was like dissonant from the other 4 and stood out, and apparently that's where the name comes from. I'm not familiar with it.
I don't think I've ever heard that story before.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, so I can't say if it holds water, but that's what I read in several places.
All that's running through my head is I remember seeing this thing on one of the, like a Discovery Channel show or something like that. That in ancient China they had set up a water wheel to basically a tree that had a bunch of that they left some of the branches on, so that when the water wheel spun the whole tree with the branches, it would hit levers that basically worked like hammers. So it was almost like a piano hammers, but they were using them to make swords.
Huh.
So you had a water-powered power hammer in ancient China in order to make swords, like to mass manufacture weapons.
Huh.
Like, that's insane. Like,
That is pretty amazing.
I hope you can all picture what I'm kind of laying out there. It's a tree trunk with a bunch of limbs still sticking out of it that almost acts like a music box. So if you ever seen a music box, how it has the cylinder with the nubs on it and it spins and it hits the little layers, kind of like that, but it would hit arms that would trigger hammers that would strike the steel that would hammer it into shape.
That's pretty wild.
It's
a hell of a Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah, kind of, but thankfully beer is not nearly as complicated. And so this first one we have is a crisp Pilsner. Mark, do you have any other details about the Pilsner itself, other than being 6% ABV?
Yeah, I can give you their flavor text. It is a smooth lager that is lightly dry hopped with Amarillo, which adds soft citrus and floral notes to a classic style Pilsner.
Yeah, from the aromas, the big thing I get is a hint of citrus and definite floral notes.
Yeah, it's definitely apparent in the aroma. And it is a very crisp Pilsner to boot.
Yes, I would definitely identify it as Amarillo right away.
It is, definitely light straw in color and also beautifully clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. It dropped out nice and clear for them. Yeah, crisp, clean, fruity. It's really tasty.
Yeah, it's interesting to me when there's one hop in a beer, and especially with I'm going to call a simpler style like Pilsner, you get to really showcase what that hop does, and
right.
it's for a single hop beer. It's also they kept it pretty close to style for Pilsner. It's not like they didn't overdo the hopping.
No, it's a solid Pilsner that they dry hop with Amarillo.
Yeah, there's there's not a lot of malt character in it. It's pretty straightforward. Like it's pretty clear and clean in that sense. Sometimes with the I guess I'm probably thinking back to earlier today when we recorded the episode from Brickhouse with the street light and the ESB that had a little bit more of that the biscuit character in there to just provide a little bit of malt character. This one I'm not getting a malt character to it, but it's
No,
But
it just
I think
has a
cr-
clean sweetness.
but I think crisp is the perfect word for it. Serve this guy ice cold, tall,
Ice cold.
ice cold in a tall frosty mug, and man, it's gonna be good.
I don't want to meet your dad.
What is that from?
Really?
Something in your caddy.
Outcast?
What?
Outcast?
Oh no. How did you get a rap song that I didn't know? You know, I had a
It's hey ya. It's
Maybe
not.
it's really not a rap song.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to that.
Andre 3000.
If I listen to that song, usually I'm relatively shit faced and not paying attention to the words at all, other than hey ya.
Yeah.
Mark didn't know who Craig Mack was.
I don't know who Craig.
Damn it!
Why should I know who Craig Mack is?
Kicking mad flavor in your ear? He's fucking dead. He just died.
No, I don't know.
Oh my god! Shit! This backfired. Fuck! You couldn't at least back me up a little? You two were like, oh, I can't believe you know who he was.
I have no idea who he is.
Holy shit!
Sorry.
Oh my god!
What group was it for?
Is it just Craig Mack? He was fucking old school hip hop. Oh my god!
No, not me, man. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Sorry, bro.
Even Amy knew who this was.
Really?
Yes. Although Amy listens to K-pop, so I don't know that we can really like roll with that. But
I don't know if we can trust her music interest in anything.
do you listen to K-pop too?
No.
Okay, just checking. All right, excellent.
I
Anyway.
question more of what I
As a
know.
general rule, I don't listen to music that I don't speak the language of which the lyrics are.
Yeah,
written.
we're for the listeners, we're hibachi last night for Amy, Mark's wife's birthday, and I didn't even hear the music that was happening, probably because it was at a decibel level. It was so low I couldn't hear it. But she goes, "Oh, I know this K-pop band," and I was like, "Oh my god." Anyway, now
I
that
spend a lot of time on YouTube.
yes, now that I'm the only person who knows who Craig Mack is, and I've made a relative fool of myself for the millionth time in my life, there'll be a million more. I enjoyed the Amarillo Pillow quite a bit, considering that it's not a style that I would normally go to. I'll kick the ratings off, and it's going to be a really, really solid bomber. I love how it showcases a really good citrusy floral flavor, and also with a very clean, crisp beer.
For me, I'd say it would probably be I think most days it would be a pint, but I'm going to put it in, like with all the other Pilsner, most of the other Pilsners, it falls into my favorite phrase of, lawnmower / barbecue beer. Hang out when it's hot, drink this. It's refreshing enough to keep drinking and light enough to keep drinking that you could hang out and have this with barbecues, outside in the backyard all day.
No, I agree with you. I'm gonna call it a pint as well. I honestly, if without the dry hopping, I think I would rate this higher.
I could understand that. I like the dry hop addition to give it some kind of character or flavor. I think without the dry hopping, it'd be a little too bland.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also feel like without the strong Amarillo character,
Right.
I would more easily be able to drink more of it. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think that's a really fair assessment. I think it's just that dry hop that adds the most notable character to it. So I would hate for that to go away. Is what I'm going with.
Yeah, with the dry hopping, I know that Pilsners aren't typically dry hopped, right, Mark? You know a little more about that.
No, right.
And I think that that's the part that I'm enjoying, is that you're still getting the crispness that I remember from Pilsners, but you're also getting a tad bit more character from the hops, which, I mean, again, style-wise, is probably not on point, but for me, makes it more enjoyable. And Amarillo is one of the hops that I'm starting to learn that I like the flavor of it in a dry hop.
Yeah, I think Amarillo pops up a lot. It seems to be pretty common in a lot of beers. And I don't know if it's just that it's more accessible than others, or that it is just a fairly pleasing, pleasing to the masses hop.
Right.
I'm not sure which one it is. I'd be interested to kind of see to get some of the to get some brewers' perspective on that. I'd like to kind of see what their thoughts on it. But it does make me really intrigued to try the rest of what Fifth Hammer has, because I like this part to start with.
It's extremely well done beer.
Well, why don't you crack open the one mash, two smash?
This is a grisette, and while this is happening, I think I remember, but I think Mark would remember better than I would. What exactly is a grisette? It's along the lines of a saison, right? Like a young saison or something. It's a young something.
It's the cousin of a saison. It's basically saisons are generally intended to be sat on for a while before they're drank, where grisettes are brewed with the intention of drinking them young.
I'm proud of myself. That's what I would have said, but I wasn't like confident enough. Mark killed it. Wow, pretty light. I think I can swear the last grisette I had was was on the darker side of things. Maybe that was a kind of a specialty grisette.
Well, the last grisette that we had was from Mad Fritz, so.
Yeah, right. Good point. They could have done anything to that.
Yeah. Which
I think that one had honey in it too, didn't it?
I don't remember if that was the grisette or not, but it definitely had spent time in wine barrels and other things.
Right.
So.
It's a really nice dark gold color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You guys need to take a smell of this.
Yeah, I've been swirling around. It's had some nice legs hanging onto the side of the glass.
The nose is pretty amazing.
That is good.
A really nice. It's like the words that come to mind are complex sweetness. I feel like it's sweet is the main smell I get, but also the different types and possible causes of the sweetness are pretty amazing.
I also get a fairly strong peppery phenolic character from the yeast used to ferment this.
Yeah, I get the yeastiness in there. There's some sweet. It's not really overwhelming to me in the beginning, but I definitely want to try it now.
The peppery notes follow through. In the flavor for sure.
It tastes like black pepper and bubblegum.
Yep. The second part I was trying to identify, bubblegum is definitely it.
Yeah, it's definitely got the bubblegum flavor from the yeast in there. And the pepper I didn't pick up in the beginning, but it actually kind of sits on the tip of my tongue a little bit and makes it a little spicy after the sip has been gone. Like, it's kind of interesting. It's really all the way out at the very tip of my tongue. It's really it's kind of confusing me a little bit.
I really enjoy this. This is the type of beer that I can drink a lot. If I can sit here and drink it, and like you had said, like think about the different parts of my tongue and how it's interacting with the beer.
Yeah. The body on it is a little thin feeling to me. I don't know if that's just style particular or anything else about it, but maybe I just got crazy swirling it and kind of got rid of all the bubbles to it. But it just feels a little bit like a flattened version of what I think I might like, but that might just be me that this is episode 3.
I think the saisons in general are probably going to be lower in the mouthfeel because it's an aggressive yeast.
Right.
But I kind of have, I don't know if that it's the carbonation or if it's just the way it's interacting with my tongue, but I get a kind of a lively feeling when I drink it. It's definitely not highly carbonated. I think that could definitely be more of the peppery notes hitting my tongue.
So it's 5.5% alcohol and their flavor text. This is a collaboration with Kelly Taylor, who apparently still works at Kelso. And it's brewed with 100% New York State grown malt and hops. And it's awesome. They say this farm ale is fruity with notes of ripe persimmon, nectarine, soft citrus, and marshmallow.
I've never had a persimmon.
I have. I don't like them.
What the hell is a persimmon? I know that it's a fruit, right? But like, explain. I'm sorry, I should have said that so I didn't sound like so much of an asshole. But I know that it's a fruit. But like, what family is it in? Like, what is it like?
The texture is kind of like pudding, and it is mildly citrus in flavor. And
wow,
it is well, I mean, there's Asian varieties as well, but there are native North American persimmons.
Interesting. The pudding part to me would probably ruin everything.
Yeah, the texture.
I'm really confused by what fruit tasting like pudding is what really.
The texture is like pudding.
Yeah, I'm really confused by that. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I can't imagine what that would taste like in my head.
Yeah,
all I can think of is dirt.
I tried them. because I was like, oh man, like this local, like this
Why,
is
is it like
something.
slimy in this?
Yeah, like I was like, oh man, I could grow these on my property. And last year I bought a couple because I was like, I want to try them and see what they're like, see if I like them. I don't like them.
Well, I remember seeing them on your counter. And being like, oh, you have persimmons. What are you gonna do with these?
Mark's like, I'm going to throw them out.
It is recon.
All right, that's interesting. I mean, would you, being that you, I think, would know more what it tastes like than I do, do you get persimmon?
Yeah, I would say persimmon is a pretty like strong or spot on description. It's basically like lightly citrus.
Gotcha.
Is flavor wise, like getting beyond the texture of them. They are lightly citrus.
I just remember they looked like tiny little heart-shaped peppers, like orange peppers.
Yeah, I guess you'd call them pepper-ish.
Like shape. I'm talking shape-wise.
Yeah,
That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like tiny little orange, almost like a heart shape of like a miniature bell pepper. Like I think if you took the leaves off it, like I would have been like, I don't know what that is. It's interesting. I like the little peppery bite that you get with it. The bubblegum, or I guess they're calling it marshmallow, flavor is present there. I find it pleasing, but I don't know if it's intriguing enough that it makes me want to keep drinking more and more of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could get behind that.
I definitely think that this is a divisive type flavor. Like this is, when you talk about beer and the average beer drinker, I think this is about as far away from your average beer drinker as you can get. So it's definitely a style that I think you're going to like or you're not going to like.
Okay, I get that, but I get what you're saying on that one. But
yeah, I mean, I don't mean to say that like if you don't like it, you're not a craft beer nerd or anything. It's more just this. It's bubblegum and pepper, like in a beer. Like
yeah,
it's an out there thing. I personally love it, but I think that if you were to serve this to 10 random people, if you found 2 people or maybe 3 people that really liked it, like I think that's where it would fall.
Mm. I can understand that assessment with it. For me, I like it, but not enough that I want to keep drinking it. So it's going to be a pint for me. Just because I'm glad to have tasted it. Pardon me. It's interesting, but I don't find it so pleasing that I want to go for more than a pint of it. I'd be really happy to get this on flight though.
Yeah.
To be able to try this and be like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Moving
on. I would probably say I'm on if there's such a thing, the lower end of the bomber. Like I want more than 1, but I think at 2, my palate would be slightly fatigued.
By the end of the second one, you'd be like, all right, I'm good.
So you want an imperial pint?
Yes, I do. But I'm going to be good to myself and allow copy and paste to still occur. I'm going to say bomber.
Right. But what you're saying is by the end of the second one, you might have to push yourself to finish that second one.
The last half to quarter of the second one, I might just throw back.
Yeah, be like, all right, time to move on.
But I think that anybody who is even marginally interested in expanding their palate, that this would be probably at the very top of the list of the type of beer to drink.
I'm gonna side with Kevin as far as the pint goes on this one. It's a very interesting beer, but it's not something that I want to drink a lot of. And I'm gonna finish the pint and then I'm gonna order something else off the board.
And eat more beer mustard. Not beer mustard, more of the honey mustard.
Yeah. More of the Fox's mustard.
Yes.
I will say, on this one, we have finally reached the flavor that I think does not work with this.
So you mean that bubble cup doesn't work with balsamic vinaigrette? No way.
Exactly. Balsamic and garlic,
garlic
doesn't seem to pair well with bubblegum and pepper. Who knew? But I'll throw back the end of this. The last one we have is called Schedule 40, and it's an American stout. Stout! There's an exclamation point on the can. It has to be said that way. So please, I apologize to your eardrums for that.
Yeah, it's required by state and federal law that we do that.
Oh yeah, pretty much. And it comes in at 5.6% ABV, so that's not bad.
No. While you're pouring that, I can we mentioned like the Belgian Dark Strong, the Tenor Gladness, that was a really good beer, and the Iron Lotus. How many beers on there? How many beers did they have? How many taps did they have? They had, I would say, what, 16?
I was going to say at least 12.
Yeah, because I felt like there was 8. There was a 2-sided board, and there was 8 to 10 on each side, somewhere in that range. Could be 12, could be somewhere in that range. And there were vastly different styles. There was another. There was a lemongrass saison. There was a saison with chamomile tea in it as well.
Yeah, and they had the I think it was New England IPA or Session IPA, the Troublesome Jellyfish.
Yeah, that was one of the best names.
What jellyfish?
Troublesome.
Yeah.
Troublesome.
You see, when I saw Troublesome Jellyfish, I'm like, because I'm always looking for a beer with a pepper in it, I had thought there could possibly be a pepper in that just because jellyfish sting you. There wasn't.
I see what you're thinking. I see what you're thinking. Right?
Yeah, there wasn't, but I didn't get to try it. But I do know several of the other judges that were there drank that and said that it was very enjoyable New England IPA.
Every time, I still love Iron Lotus. I think it's a fantastic name, and I'm not sure if it's a weird Asian sex act or it's the nickname for an
Usually
for all Asian prostitutes. Is where I'm going with that.
Right. That is.
I mean, Iron Lotus. You must be careful.
Not that I've had a lot of Fifth Hammer beers, but
I thought you were going to say a lot of old Asian prostitutes.
No, I'm saying
You don't frequent massage parlors in Ronkonkoma?
no, I don't. Ronkonkoma, I think that's pretty much a ubiquitous thing. But anyway, no, I don't. For the record, however,
because I feel like at least one of these rated in Ronkonkoma. And old Asian women are busted for prostitution.
Well, they closed the one in Centerbridge, so yeah.
It sounds like the two of you know far more about this than I do. So everybody's looking.
I watch News 12. I don't know what you're doing.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure. Those feet don't look like they massage themselves there, Mark.
Listen, nobody touches these feet.
The boots are heavy. Okay, listen, don't judge.
So what I was getting at was I haven't had a lot of Fifth Hammer beers. However, I've had a lot of Iron Lotus because that's pretty much exclusively what I drank during Homebrew Rally because I loved it. And also, I was able to have one on Saturday, and I was bummed when it was off the board when Mark and I went to order. Really wanted to have it. It was an Imperial Porter, which is interesting. And that one came in at like 10.6%. Just as like the range of what they're doing with the Imperial Porter out to a Grisette to a Saison, it's crazy.
Yeah, that Pilsner too. It's like they're really far. That's both ends of the spectrum. That really is. Like they're hitting all spots.
So Chris was the regional coordinator.
Judge coordinator, I think. Yeah.
No, Andrew was the judge coordinator.
Yeah. Okay.
Was he the assistant to the regional?
No, he, as far as the NHC goes, Chris was ranked above Andrew as far as
he was coordinating the competition.
Right.
I don't remember the exact title, but
did he have a clipboard? Because
that
makes him a supervisor.
There are clipboards everywhere.
But and his wife Mary was judging in the same flight that I was impressed upon to judge.
Okay.
Showing up expecting the steward, and Andrew was like, "Oh, Mark, great, you're judging." And I was like,
hence Mark dropping his dukes in his pants.
Pretty much, because I didn't want to volunteer myself to judge my first competition on the national level.
Fair enough. I can understand how you don't want to jump right into national events, but you do what you do, man.
Yeah, I mean it worked out, but
you can swim in the deep end. You're a big boy.
But it was just funny because somebody else that was there that day was talking to Mary, and Mary was talking about, oh yeah, this is our fun tank. Like she kept referring to the fun tank, which is a 6-barrel tank where they do most of their like more off the wall, like oddball sort of editions.
Right, because it's a little smaller one, and
right. So we made 15 barrels of schedule 40, and then we put 6 in the fun tank, and then added something to it.
Okay, so I like that plan though.
Yeah, I just like the way that it's the fun tank is how it's referred to.
And right now, I know we love barrel beers. Iron Lotus, they have a barrel with Iron Lotus, and they have a barrel aged Berliner going on right now.
Barrel aged Berliner.
Yeah, and I know the second that I said they had Iron Lotus in a barrel, Kevin immediately thought of an old Asian prostitute stuck in a barrel. So
listen, however you get them to the beer, whatever.
All right. So,
I was trying to think of a good joke to make for it, but like you just cut my knees right out from way down that one.
Sorry about that. I just saw the wheels turning, and I'm like, I know what he's thinking of.
So Schedule 40, I don't remember who said or not, but it's 5%, 5.6% alcohol, and their flavor text is. Pardon. This dark beer is roasty with notes of cocoa powder, smoke, and mint. And the name? Not an IRS form, but the most popular thickness of industrial pipe. Is what all of our table bases and bathroom toilet paper stands are made from. So sexy.
I like that they add the fact that it's the toilet paper dispensers that are made from it also. All right.
I love the fact that there was mint in that description because I probably wouldn't have picked up on it in the flavor if it hadn't been there. I would have just thought that it was possibly some bitterness.
I'm not getting a whole lot. Like going into the nose, like I'm not getting a whole lot in the nose, to be honest. Like
no, it's not there in the nose. But
no. Like I don't really get a whole lot of anything.
Oh,
I get a moderate amount of roast. I would not say it's an aroma filled beer.
I would say I get a low amount of roast, and that's about it in the aroma.
Yeah, but nothing like really hits me.
No.
I mean, there's a thin little film of head on top, but nothing that's and it's hanging onto the side of the glass well, but nothing that's really standing out even when I poured it.
What I'm liking about this is, again, this is the theme of the recording session today is American.
Fuck yeah.
This isn't America. Fuck yeah. Matt.
That's an American.
Avenger, get Birdman coffee.
Matt Gavin. Anyway, now that we're done with making Team America references and Rick and Morty,
I was going Birdman.
What's that?
I was going Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman's a character on Rick and Morty.
Not that Birdman.
Okay. Different Birdman?
Wrong Birdman.
Okay. The Hanna-Barbera Birdman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't go there.
Avenger, get Birdman coffee.
Avenger, my PDA.
I can't say that.
He was a big character on Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Okay, yeah, that's why I don't know it. I didn't frequent that.
Along with Brack.
Well, so Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, classic Adult Swim cartoon.
No.
Stephen Colbert voiced the Falcon on that show before he got his own late night show.
I'm familiar with it. I'm just not as familiar, clearly not as familiar with it as you are.
That's one of my all-time favorites is Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Okay.
And it's like, Birdman, I need your trust. Slavish even. Stand there. Not there, there. And the joke was he only, Falcon has only one eye. So his depth perception and whatnot is off.
Okay.
He's like commanding Birdman to stand next to this open window in a high-rise building and do a trust fall. And there's nothing behind him.
So
that's the joke.
See, the thing for me,
get it?
I do get it. But the thing for me that Adult Swim, that epitomizes
Did you
Adult
get that
Swim.
thing I sent you?
You had to, Adult Swim, if you weren't paying attention to every single part of it, it couldn't be funny. Like, the detail that you had to pay attention to. Especially for being like 2 a.m. when the shit airs.
I own at least season 1 of that show.
Well, because you had to remember that to me, it feels like it was completely geared towards just a bunch of stone guys that were hanging out. That you were up all night. You were like, fuck, man, blazed out.
Yeah, well, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, like for the win there. You know, like some stone motherfuckers, like let me draw a bunch of fast food shit.
Yeah. What about Meatball Talk, man? The Meatball, my hero's talking to me, bro.
Meat Live.
Yeah. Oh, he's a meatball.
Yes.
All right.
So back to beer.
Back to Schedule 40. To recap for listeners who blacked out during our fucking our adult swim caca session there, we
my day.
Schedule 40.
Juice.
Holy shit! Schedule 40 had low to moderate roast aroma.
How many times can we derail Justin? Is really the name of this game right now.
He is legend.
And we've lost him. We've lost him. He's gone. He's gone. He's done.
Rise, chicken.
This beer is too good to do this to.
Arise.
All right, now that no one's listening.
Okay.
Except for Greg. Greg, you're still here. I know you are.
So,
yeah.
The Schedule 40 is a really tasty beer. And you have some more details about the beer itself, so lay it on us.
Right, so what I wanted to say was that with an American stout, I'm always looking for there to be so much hops in here. They take the stout that I love and destroy it, and that didn't happen.
Right.
So I'm impressed with how I definitely think there is a hop bitterness to this.
There is.
And
I'm wondering if you know what the hop is. Do either of you guys have it up on your
No.
computers and what it is?
no,
Because I'd be interested to know what it is, because I think it does stand up to the rest of the stout well.
definitely. I think whatever it is, they probably didn't use a super late edition because I'm not getting a particular hop flavor. More just that bitter backbone.
It's a very assertive bitterness, though.
Right, and I think it matches up well with the rest of it. I definitely, on the flavor side of things, get either the impression of mint or maybe it's that bitter finish that's making me think of mint. I'm not 100% sure.
It definitely has, on my palate, it definitely kind of mimics the way mint does a little bit.
The only kind of mint that I'm getting is maybe the slightest feeling of a coolness in the back of the sip.
Yes.
It's almost, and again, because it's been a whole episode and we haven't mentioned the fact that Justin doesn't drink coffee. When you brush your teeth, I know Mark doesn't use mint toothpaste because he doesn't like mint, he uses cinnamon.
That's
fucking
right.
communist. Alright. But if you use mint toothpaste,
I fucking didn't know that.
yes, you do.
I knew you didn't like mint, but I didn't know you used cinnamon.
I don't.
He's mentioned it like 12
Kevin has definitely brought this up at least 6 times.
Besides
We're
that-
at
besides
83
that-
episodes.
But seriously, if you have your cup of coffee in the morning or whatever you have the first thing in the morning after you brush your teeth and you get that kind of cool minty feeling at the end of that coolness at the end of your breath, at the end of your inhalation, whatever it may be, or the end of the bite, that's the only mint that I would get out of it. I wouldn't say it would be that forward biting mint or even the spearmint, like that strong spearmint flavor that you would get from
that's
gum.
definitely not that.
But it's really to me, it's the mint that you get of you're having something after you chewed a piece of mint gum or after you brushed your teeth or something like that.
Right. It's the cooling sensation is definitely it. And I think
that's it,
and I think that it's that a cooling bitterness is essentially how I would put it in. It's when I swallow that I feel that way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Which on that side, I think I might plant some mint this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, not because of anything.
Are you gonna put it in a container?
No, I have in a kind of useless bed that I don't grow anything in. Ever.
Because if you put mint in the ground, you're and it's not contained, your yard is going to be mint in 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, if
It's
it
a
replaces,
beastly plant.
I realize that, and I have this kind of corner bed that is kind of useless for everything else, and it's just growing those purple dickweeds that grow up all over Long Island.
Yes.
I'm hoping to replace the purple dickweeds with mint. That's basically what I'm gonna get.
Can't say I know what a purple dickweed looks like.
You don't know the ones I'm talking about?
No.
You know the
I do. I don't know. I know the purple weeds he's talking about. The dickweed portion of it is just. I don't know the reference there. But I do know it's the purple flowered weed.
It's this purple flowered weed that kind of has a fairly phallic flower on the top of it. That's kind of dick shaped.
I don't doubt you. I just cannot conjure the image in my mind.
I don't know.
I mean,
I can't look it up because if
I
you
can try googling purple dickweed
if you
flower
Google
and see what
purple
happens.
dickweed, I have no idea what comes up, and I'm let that be on your guys' browser, not on mine.
Yeah, well, I'm using your network, buddy.
It's all good.
All right. Someone somewhere's like, there are 2 computers simultaneously Googling purple dickweed. Well, hold on.
Okay.
So, I don't know about you. This will be an interesting thing. The very first result for purple dickweed, all 3 words,
Is safe serve John or off?
is a marijuana strain called purple donkey dick.
No, that's
No. See, I put dickweed as a single word,
Okay.
and my first result is Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
So
not
for dickweed syndrome, and dickweed syndrome is a catastrophic STD. It causes major fungi infection on the outer of your dick.
So,
After the 9th day of infection, now begins to grow marijuana leaves. These leaves can be a major high. It makes you see purple unicorns and giant green penises where the horns should be.
so the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 results
Yeah.
are all marijuana strains.
Okay.
And then the 6th one is the exact one that he just read, which I believe is a result of the first 5 marijuana strain. Someone smoking the first 5.
Well, I will say that I'm 99% certain that the weed that's growing in my front yard is not a smokable weed. But if it is, I'm going to be pissed that I tried to kill it off.
Okay.
Because I could have made a little extra cash on that one.
All right.
Anyway. That's besides the point. This beer, Schedule 40, is really intriguing. You get this stout flavor. You have a little bit of roast to it, but not an overwhelming amount of roast. And the mint flavor is kind of, to me, what could be viewed as refreshing by some is kind of turning me off. I get how some people could have this as a coffee, as a roasty beer, and say they really like that, and I feel that as a cleaning sensation. I don't feel that. To me, it turns me off about it, and it kind of makes it a little bit. I have that impression of like I just brushed my teeth in my head, and I can't get rid of that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be on the side of refreshing. The opposite end of the spectrum. It's an interesting beer because it does have an assertive bitterness to it, but that coolness at the end kind of refreshes my palate and allows me to drink more of it.
Right.
That being said, it is still very bitter. So from a rating perspective, I'm probably going to sit at a bomber. I think the two of them, very similar to the Grisette before this, I think 2 of them would probably fatigue my palate, but would be enjoyable throughout the whole 2. And once I went on to something else, it's very possible that I would go back and have another one.
I would say, to me, it's lighter than a lot of stouts that I come across. It does have that cleaner sensation, but for me, it's just going to be a pint. That something about that kind of that mint feeling in the back is turning me off, and that's probably just a me thing, not an everybody thing. But for me, it's just not going to do it. So pint I'm sticking with.
As not a fan of mint, I have to agree with Kevin that it's going to be a pint. The mint-like quality on the finish is definitely noticeable, but not enough to make it abhorrent to me on a principle. But as a general experience, it's definitely not something that I want to drink more than a glass of.
Yeah, it's just not going to. It's really interesting, and the way they got that flavor is really intriguing to me. It's just not my thing for this one, and I'm a little bummed because I like the other one. I feel like I kind of hit that same note with all 3 of the Fifth Hammer beers we had today. That I like them; they're intriguing, but it's not driving me to drink more of them. It's not saying, "Hey, I want to drink as many of these as possible." It's more of, "Oh, cool, that was a really interesting experience. Let me move on to the next one and see if it's also a really interesting experience," rather than trying to say, "This one's amazing, I just want to keep drinking it."
Yeah, I think that the board they have and the number of beers they have is very conducive to that in terms of wanting to try another one and wanting to try another
Try
one.
something different.
Yeah.
Try something different.
And that's how I am. When I go, I kind of want to have, even if I love something, like, in our the Brickhouse episode that from a couple weeks ago, we had, we talked about the Nitro Boom Stout, how all 3 of us could drink that at any given moment. We could drink 5 of them.
Yeah.
But when I'm there, I'm always, my personality is I'm trying to try multiple ones. So it definitely spoke to my beer OCD, the Fifth Hammer experience. And
I would say more ADD than OCD.
Oh, yeah, ADD, right. Yeah, exactly. 3rd fucking episode I was guessing. So, I'm
here for you, brother.
Yes.
Especially when 2 was Imperial Stout.
Yes. The tasting room itself is really cool.
Yeah.
The decor is nice. Yes, they have pipe, toilet paper holders, and table bases, as they mentioned earlier.
Schedule 40 everywhere.
Everywhere. And actually, every time I've been there, I've had an intriguing experience. When I was there for home rally judging, we were there late to see how Best in Show went and everything. And there was an older woman there, a grandma, if you will,
Right.
who was giving me shots of Jameson from her Coke.
Was she the Iron Lotus?
Maybe she was the Iron Lotus. She definitely wasn't Asian,
Okay.
so she didn't fit the full characteristic. But that was fun. Some people said, "Hey, do you want to sit down?" And a bunch of guys from LIB were there. We're very friendly, so sure, please sit down. And she didn't particularly enjoy beer herself, but she brought her BYOJ, brought her own Jameson, and she shared. It was nice. And then there's always dogs there. There's always at least 4 dogs at the brewery, which is always fun to have them run around. And,
I would say at least every 20 minutes during judging last week, there was.
Hey, listen, you need some puppers to break up the the monotony.
So yeah, I bring it up because it's a fun place, and it's definitely happening on like Thursdays and Friday nights, and the crowd seems very relaxed. A lot of people talking to each other and just friendly people in general.
Cool.
It's a great time.
That's fantastic. I am envious of you guys that you got to be out there a couple days, and I have not got a chance to be out there yet. Long Island City, I know, has a lot of breweries, and it's one of those areas that I want to go and just wander
But it's
around.
also one of those areas that you never want to go to.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the double-edged sword there. But I would like to just go and hit the breweries in the neck of the woods, and it's time for me to make the trek into Queens and start checking out some of the breweries there, because I have not. We've checked off 99% of them in Suffolk County. I think we've checked out all of them in Nassau County. So it's time to make the trek to the next county. Queens County, here we come.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Long Island City is though it's the area of Queens that's closer to Manhattan than Brooklyn is.
Yeah, exactly. It's that weird little corner that's more northwest than anything else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll make our way out there soon. We'll do a drunken train trip of some sort.
I know my brother lives in Sunnyside. He's been yelling at me, like, dude, come out here. We'll go to the breweries. We'll go around. Don't matter. It's not that far. Let's just go to all. I'm like, all right, let's.
Well, we'll see if we can make it happen.
There you go. All right. You guys, any last thoughts on Fifth Hammer?
No, I think we covered the bases. Go check them out.
All right. Mark, you?
No, I got nothing else.
All right. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.